See, because I believe that we are truly in a crisis. And I believe that the crisis is worse than we even realize. Certainly worse than is being portrayed in the mainstream media, and worse than this administration would have us think it is. And we see the symptoms of it cropping up every day. We are in a fourfold crisis, in my estimation. And the first crisis is a crisis of freedom. This is a nation that was birthed in freedom. Our founders came here, their ancestors came here because they were looking for freedom. Freedom from religious oppression. Freedom to worship God in the way they saw fit. So this nation has its legacy and its roots in freedom. We are a unique nation. The only one of its kind that has ever existed. And now our freedom is being threatened, in my view, as never before internally. Anytime you pass a health care bill, that all across the country the hue and cry goes up, don't do this, we don't want this. People are protesting in town hall meetings, and they're calling their congressmen, and they're writing letters, and they're doing everything possible, and the polls tell you people don't want this, and you shove it down their throats anyway. You make backroom deals, you make cloakroom deals, and then you decide this is what we're going to do whether people like it or not because we think it's best. My friends, our freedom is in danger when the government thinks it can do that. It's supposed to be seeking to do the will of the people, and instead it directly contradicted that will and then shoved it in our faces, telling us things like, well, when we pass the bill, then you'll find out what's in it and you'll like it. Eventually, you'll be as wise as we are, and you'll like it. Well, guess what? Here we are, what, a year later, and we still don't like it. And I've got news for you. If you give me the privilege of being your U.S. Senator, I will go and fight to see to it that that thing is repealed and done away with forever. We need to start all over again. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We have a constitutional crisis in this country. Remember, this president said that our Constitution is fundamentally flawed. First president I've ever heard say that. He said it's flawed because it doesn't give government positive rights. It only gives positive rights to the people. And you scratch your head and wonder, this is supposed to be a constitutional scholar? That is the way it was designed. It was designed to limit the power of government because our founders understood that the heart of man is deceitfully wicked above everything. If you give people too much power, they will lord it over others. And so they built in checks and balances, and they designed a constitution that would limit the power of government to exercise its control over the individual. Now, Scott shared with you, I practiced law for 15 years. I taught business law and commercial law and regulatory law, Northeast University and Strayer University. Let me tell you something. I taught the Commerce Clause. There is no way under God's blue sky that you can stretch the Commerce Clause to give the government authority to mandate health care to be purchased by every American. You can't. It is twisting the Constitution into a pretzel. You just can't do it. But yet we're being told on that basis they can mandate it. And I love the word mandate. You know what it is? It's a synonym for order. Command. The government's going to command you to go into your pocket and buy a product that they approve and order you to buy. Folks, that's not the Constitution of the United States. That's a whole different vision of who we are as a nation. And then, frankly, we've got a sovereignty crisis. We've got a sovereignty crisis. And this ought to be an indication when you get liberals and conservatives all suing the administration saying that your incursion into Libya is unconstitutional because you did not even follow the War Powers Act and you still refused to submit it to Congress, but you went to the United Nations and you got their permission to do it. You're submitting our sovereignty to the United Nations, which is made up largely of a group of thugs and dictators, people who brutalize their own citizens, and you want to submit the United States sovereignty to them? We've got a sovereignty crisis in this country. See, this is my complaint about much of what is said in politics today. We're talking about the symptoms. Yes, we have a major spending problem, but folks, it's a symptom. It's a symptom. The deeper problem is, now that's the fourth crisis, that we walked away from our values. We walked away from the values and the principles that made us great. And as a result of that, we've got all of these issues that keep cropping up day by day. So now the president is being sued by Democrats and Republicans for having violated our sovereignty. And every single day there's something new, it seems, that this administration is doing. I'm sure you all heard that, here again, unprecedented, the Attorney General's office stepped in behalf of a woman, I think in Ohio, somewhere out in the Midwest, who wanted 3 weeks off in the first year of her teaching contract to go to Mecca. Now, my understanding of Islam is that you have to make Hajj once in a lifetime. She wanted it that year, and the school system said, you can't do that. You're a first-year teacher. The Attorney General's office, not the ACLU, the Attorney General's office stepped in and said, we will represent you and make sure that they give you time off to make Mecca. But when voters are denied the right to vote because of voter intimidation by the new Black Panther Party, we're told, oh, we're not going to get involved in that. Because the Voting Rights Act was really only meant to enforce the voting rights of black people or minority people. I thought, according to John Adams and the Founding Fathers, we're a nation of laws and not of men. And we're told that, no, we won't apply the law to certain people.